And hello, welcome. So in this video, now that we actually made a OPCUA server, we maybe want to add some methods to it so that we can actually execute tasks every few seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this maybe to example 2. Yeah, example 2 will have some simple things we can actually do with the server. For example, print line and stuff like that. So let's say we want to so-called print our OPCUA endpoint, right? OPCUA endpoint. Where will this be stored? Okay, if you actually take a look at the server object, okay, server object, this will be stored under, if I'm not wrong, let's see. Actually, yeah, okay, never mind. I'll not do that kind of just yet. As of making this video, I'm still like learning, and as I learn, I'm actually making notes for myself so that I don't forget where things are. But okay, let's just do a very simple example. What I'm doing here is that I just want to print the IP address of my OPCUA server. Okay, so how do I print the OPCUA server IP address? So you need to take a look at this part. It says that okay, we take a look at this part. So I'm not going to do the bare bones server anymore. I'm going to make a demo 2. I'm just yeah, I'm going to make a demo 2, and yeah, just for just for the sake of leaving code there to run, I want to make it such that I want to leave this code here, but I want to say give a boolean to say, do I run the server or do I not? Okay, so because I want to actually add many pieces of code. So for example, demo 1, I want to have several functions which actually build the server and run the server. So here is okay, here is a boolean which I want to introduce. Okay, because I want to just leave the code there. All right, let me do it first, then I'll explain it to you. So run server. Okay, this is a boolean, and I want to do it such that if run server equals to true, then I run the server. Okay, otherwise I'll just return. Okay, equals. Okay, if run server equals to true, then I run the server. If we actually take a look here, we actually didn't supply the boolean, so I want to actually make a way to control this. So I like to put it like so: run server equals to true, don't run server equals to false. So this barebone server, I will want to say don't run server. If I put a run server here, of course it will run as per normal. I'll be able to connect to it. As you can see, the client here should be able to like connect back to the server still. Okay, I can disconnect. If I say don't run server, okay, then I will not be running the server. So I'll just connect it, and then it will just give an error. Okay, it will give an error. So because the server isn't running anyway. Okay, so this is the new barebones server. So this is really just barebones. Next thing I want to do is okay, serve print IP address .rs. Okay, so I just want a server that prints the IP address. Okay, nothing more. Okay, I'm going to copy this and paste it here. What I'm going to do is, of course, include this into the module. Okay, include this in the module. And now I'll put this under print. Okay, under mod rs pub mod print IP address. And I will have print IP address will be available here. Okay, and under print IP address, I want to put demo2 print stuff, print IP address. So this the purpose of having this here is so that is so that I can demonstrate the ability to add functions which run periodically. Okay, so this is demo2 print IP address, and I'll put the run server over here. Run server. So this is how we do it. Okay, so the thing is that we actually need to import some kind of build a function and then use this function called add polling action. Okay, if you can see this add polling action, okay, add polling action, what it does is that it makes the server run execute something every few seconds. If you actually look at the if you actually look over here under light source, oops, okay, light source, you go under server. Okay, if you take a look at the server, okay, let me use server.rs. What are we looking for? Yeah, we're looking for the add polling action. Okay, add polling action here, it says create a polling action that happens continuously on an interval. So this is the source code of it, which is over here. Okay, so add polling action. So once you start the serve, if you want to execute a function every few seconds, okay, or on a set interval over here, then you will use this function right here. Okay, I didn't take a look at what is actually going on behind the scenes, but this is the basic idea. If you want a function to execute every few seconds, okay, this is what you do. Okay, then how do you then add these functions here? To add these functions here, you can actually take a look at the examples page. Okay, there's a opcua. You can actually go to the samples folder, and you can go to the simple server, samples, go to simple server. Okay, and we take a look at the main.rs right here. Okay, so the simple server actually shows you how it's done. Okay, so we actually don't need to do anything. You see this part called add polling action, and you can see, okay, it has to be done every you see this number 300 here. So that what it means here is that the first argument, you actually supply something that says, okay, every 300 milliseconds we do something. What is the something? We actually have this thing over here. Okay, we actually have this this is called closure. Okay, this is a closure which we can do here, and I already had some example code like right here. Here's a simple print endpoint code, which is a closure. We actually put the IP address here and we make it print something. So that is something like what we want to do. Okay, so I'm going to add a function, or not function. I'm going to add a closure. Okay, this is not the right one, and I'm going to put this here. Where's my print IP address? Yes, so okay, let's add a closure to print IP address. Okay, so the closure should be as follows. Maybe I'll have something like what, print endpoint simple. Okay, print endpoint simple. Okay, let print endpoint, or print we just want to print the endpoint because that's very useful. We can actually take a look at the output right here, and we we can see how to connect. Okay, so the closure is as follows. You have a double like vertical slash, and then we close and open it with curly braces. Okay, close and open it with curly braces, and then we have a print line thing here. Print line, and what can we print? Okay, I actually want to print the port and host 192.168.277. Okay, so I do this opc.tcp ://192.168.7.227. We'll put the port number here 4840. Okay, this is the manual way of doing things. That's not the most programmatic way, but it's a way of doing things. Okay, and we'll put the proper macro here, which is a print line. Okay, print line is here, and then of course we need to put a closure here. Okay, so this doesn't actually do anything just yet. We need to add this closure to the server. So the thing we do is that we use the server object. Okay, we add a polling action. Okay, this time just to take note, you don't actually need to return it, because if you see the add polling action under server.rs, add polling action, is actually taking a mutable reference to self. We do not consume that object. Okay, so we can just use the method as is, so that will mutate the server. It will change the server. Okay, so we'll just put it again, 300 millisecond interval. Then we can put the closure right here. Print endpoint. Okay, it says cannot borrow server as mutable because we did not make this server object mutable, so we'll just make the server object mutable. Okay, so you can see that every 300 milliseconds it will print out our IP address or endpoint. Okay, it's a little bit too much, I think. It's a little bit too much, and of course maybe I want some spaces here. Maybe I'll print it every 3000 milliseconds, because I don't want it to print so much. Okay, so maybe every 3 seconds it will just print this, and this is useful because I can take a look at this OPCUA server, and yeah, I can use this exact address. I'll copy and paste it here, and I'm able to connect. Okay, I'm not going to actually copy and paste it because I already have the address. All right, now your IP address and port number may be different from mine. Okay, so we can actually change a few things. So let's say I want to put my IP address over here. Okay, let IP address equals to, okay, what's the so this is a end string equals to 192.168.7.227. Okay, and of course this will make it a little bit nicer. So instead of having this, I will print it like so: IP address, and my endpoint here will be as follows. I can actually change this print line here to IP address, and then I will change this to the curly braces. Okay, so this is one way of doing things. Okay, where's the IP address? Okay, so yeah, it's a thing here that says closure may outlive the current function. And yeah, the reason why you see the move thing here is because, yeah, you see this error here because of the borrowing thing. Okay, I'm not going to delve too much into that. I will just put the move there, and I hope this thing works, that kind of thing. So now you can see this thing works right here. Okay, IP address equals to IP address is a string which contains the IP address here. And if you take a look at the example, you also see the move thing being here. move thing over there. That's why we actually have to put the move thing here because of the compiler error just now. And honestly, okay, I'm not expert on why you have to move it, and I don't feel like explaining, like delving into that as well. So I just leave it as it is. But okay, this code works. Okay, I'm not going to try to understand it, but I just say this works, and okay, that's good enough for me. Okay, next thing, of course, we can actually make the port number a bit easier. That port number, okay, U32 equals to 4840. Okay, let's just see what the host and port is supposed to take in. I think it's a U16 if I'm not wrong. Okay, so I'll just put the port number here, and I'll go down here, port number, and that's the second thing I'm gonna print out. Hopefully it works, but I suspect there'll be a typing error. So this is expected U16 and expect U32. Okay, and over in the print side, it says we need to do a try into and unwrap. So I'm just going to follow that. Because we need to convert that U32 into a string. Okay, unwrap. Okay, and next thing is the 35 up, U16, 16-bit unsigned. Okay, or maybe I'll do this. I'll change this to a question mark right here. I hope that works. Yeah, that works. Okay, so that's the debug thingy. It works for printing out. Great, I'm happy. All right, and of course I can change this to the example endpoint path. Okay, so this makes it a little more programmatic in that sense. Okay, when I print the endpoint path. Okay, so this makes it a little easier, so you can change the thing in one place, but that's not the only thing I want. The thing I want is to automatically detect my IP address. How is that done? Okay, there's a nice really nice thing, cargo package in Rust called local IP address. Okay, this is a cargo package, and it's literally called local IP address. What it does is it allows you to get your IP address without you going through the manual route. So this is licensed under Apache 2.0 or MIT. So you can go to the GitHub repo, and you'll see their license under MIT is here. Copyright is here. So I'm just displaying it. Or the Apache. Okay, again, copyrights here. You can take a look. All right, so it's nice of them to do it under open source. So how I use it is like so. I actually have an IP address thing, IP address function, and I return the IP address as some string. So I'm going to put this here. And what you're supposed to do, if you want, you're supposed to do cargo add local IP address. Okay, and this is how you get your local IP address create. Once you have the create, what you're supposed to do is just use the local IP address. Local IP address, local IP. You can actually look at the documentation here. Yeah, this is basically what I did. And if you go down, so what we do is we use the local IP method, we unwrap it, and then we convert it into a string, and we return it. Okay, so this is what the purpose of this function is here. So instead of manually typing my IP version 4 address here, I can use this function, which basically uses the local IP address create, gets the IP as a string, and returns it here. Okay, so where's the IP address? get IP as string. Okay, so get IP as string, get IP as string, and I want to get it as a reference because that actually helps with the typing and stuff. Okay, and it's giving me an error. I get IP as string. Okay, so it's getting a type error. Let me try the ampersand here. Okay, let me check how I did it. Right. Okay, so actually when I did the host and port, I just used the ampersand to the IP address and I put it into the host and port. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm not going to have type annotations right here. I'm not going to do this. And then I'll just use this here. An IP address, I'll put it here. And I'll have this over here. Of course, I can do an IP address as well, but either way that works. Okay, so this is how I actually get the IP address without having to type, do it manually. So that's really up to you to decide how you want to do it, but I find this extremely convenient, and you can see I'll be able to get stuff on the server as well. I'll still be able to connect. So yeah, this is pretty useful. Copy paste. Yeah. Copy this endpoint. This is the manual way of doing it. Copy it, and then I'll just paste it here. Oops. Never mind. I'll just use Ctrl+Shift+C. Ctrl+Shift. This thing is not working the way I want it. It should be working. Never mind. The point is, yes, this OPC address is here. You can either type in manually, copy paste, whatever, but it's displaying here. Hey, I won't bother with the copy paste bit. I just forgot how to do it momentarily, but it can be done. Right? So that's it for now. This is how to add polling actions that are useful. For example, printing your endpoint. Okay, I'll stop for now and see you.